action figure enthusiasts out there. JC here along with Salome, and we're coming at you with another news video, T&I news video. And we'll try and keep it fairly short today. I got some things to recap or update you guys on from stories I talked about last week. And then if you caught yesterday's live stream, there was some stuff that we talked about there that I'm going to recap. And then I've got a couple of new things to share with you as well. So first of all, let's start off with some news from NECA Toys. And Friday, right after I did that news video on Friday, they released this image, so I didn't get to talk about it on Friday. And it's just one image. It's a teaser image. It looks like it's their upcoming 7-inch scale classic Universal Monsters Frankenstein figure. So it was announced a while ago that they were going to be doing figures based on these classic Universal monsters, and it looks like they're going to start things off with Frankenstein. Now, no details as far as releases or anything like that. We just have the one image, so hopefully more information will be coming soon on this figure. Now, this next figure is one I talked about last week, but now we have the official images from NECA Toys. It is another King Kong figure. It's a repaint figure. It is supposed to be based on a classic 1933 movie poster. So again, this is basically just a repaint, and it will show up at Walmart stores later this month, and then eventually it'll be released everywhere. So again, it's starting off as a Walmart exclusive, and then probably a month or so after that, you'll start seeing it at Target and online e-tailers and things like that. Diamond Select Toys has released some new images for the two figures in their first wave of Lord of the Rings Select figures. These are 7-inch scale figures. These will be out next month in March. And obviously it's Gimli and Legolas. And again, these are new updated images showing off the accessories and just the figures themselves. And these will be available at comic and specialty shops, as I said, next month in March. Tomasi Nations has released a couple images for their next SH figure. It's Ultraman figure. This is based on the Shin Ultraman movie, and this figure is slated for release in June. Now, this next story is one that we talked about yesterday during the live stream, but in case you missed that, I wanted to go on and just share it with you. So late Saturday evening, Hasbro announced that they are going to be offering a new GI Joe classified Snake Eyes figure. Specifically, this is the Fortnite edition. It was also just recently announced here that GI Joe characters would be appearing in the Fortnite video game. And instead of like McFarlane or Jazzwares, who have the Fortnite action figure license, it looks like Hasbro was able to do this particular figure. So it is just a repaint of the previous classified Snake Eyes figure that we've gotten 2 times before, at least primarily a repaint. I'm not sure if that head sculpt is a repaint or if it's actually a new head sculpt. It does look a little different to me, but I'm not entirely sure. But you can see it has like the light silver on the visor, which I think looks pretty good. You've got some lighter gray portions on the upper legs. He's got that modern GI Joe symbol on his shoulder pad there. And he comes with quite a few accessories. Now, most of these are based on the Fortnite video game. Of course, he comes with this sword and a sheath, and you get some grenades. I like the machine gun up at the top, and I also like the grenade launcher under the plunger there. I think that will look good, actually, with the gung-ho figure. But again, most of the other accessories that are included with this are really something you would see in the Fortnite video game. And then, of course, you get some rather unique packaging with this figure as well. It is not standard classified packaging. It is more in keeping with the Fortnite video game. Now, this figure is available for pre-order now on the Hasbro Pulse website. It's not slated for release until a year from now, January of 2022. So you've got a ways to go before it's actually going to be released. It's only up for pre-order for a limited time, though, and the cost on this one is a bit hefty. It's $40. I do think this is probably the coolest looking of the 3 Snake Eyes that they've done, but I'm not sure that's enough to really justify the $40 price tag. I did end up going on and getting one, kind of hesitantly, but definitely if you're really into Fortnite, you probably want to get this one, but otherwise, I don't know, it's a tough call with that higher price. News came out this weekend via Bloomberg News that the 2 Toys R Us stores that had tried to reopen in the United States have now since closed. So it looks like the final chapter of Toys R Us here in the U.S. is upon us. Part of it's just bad timing, I'm sure, with the COVID pandemic. I'm not entirely sure I ever saw anything with these stores that really was going to make it successful, but I don't know. Definitely, though, I would say COVID played a part with these 2 stores already closing up basically a year after they opened. Okay, now moving on to Super 7. So I've got some updates to share with you on much of the stuff that was announced last week. So this weekend, Pixel Dan posted a couple of video interviews with Super 7's own Brian Flynn. One specifically in regards to the Thunder Tank, and then the other in regards to the Ultimates licenses that they announced. So I'll put links to both interviews if you want to check them out. And they are fairly interesting, especially when it comes to the Thunder Tank. Brian does a pretty good job of explaining why the tank costs so much. And I know a lot of people are not happy about that $450 price. But I think when you listen to the reasons, at least, you can understand that he's not just like price gouging you. There is a legitimate reason why it costs so much. That may not change anything. I mean, if you have a hard time, and I'm kind of in that boat, where I'm just trying to justify if I want to pay $450, that it's regardless of how justifiable the price might be. I don't know. Size is another issue with the tank for me personally, just because it is so big. And I mean, that's a good thing in one way. It does hold, essentially 6-7 inch scale figures, 2 in the front and then 4 in the back. I mean, that's seated. You could probably squeeze a couple other figures. There's space in the back beyond just the 4 seats. So the measurements, it's going to measure 27 inches long and 17 inches wide. Now, it does have a number of features as well. The back opens up. There is a gun, like you would see in the cartoon. And the tank is actually based on the cartoon, not the original toy. So you get that cannon with the claw, the cat claw that you would see in the cartoon. And that's actually, you can take out of the back. So it doesn't fold down or anything. You really just want to either remove it or have it kind of extended up, it looks like. And then of course the front paws, they lift up and there's cannons in there. So again, like we would see, the mouth, the jaw is supposed to open, and the on the front there, those basically the lights, they glow in the dark. They don't actually light up, but they glow in the dark. There is a thing of ore, it looks like, that you can store in the back that'll be included with the tank. There's a cannon on the front that also pops up. You can also have either the clear canopy top on the front there or a solid one. And you had both in the cartoon, so that's why they've included both. And, the treads are supposed to be made of a material. They will move, and the wheels will roll. And they're using a material, a vinyl type material that's supposed to, withstand kind of breaking down, as opposed to just like rubber, which would likely not last terribly long. So again, hefty price on the tank, $450 plus shipping, which here in the United States is going to be a flat $40 fee. They are supposed to be working with other overseas retailers to partner up with them so that people who want to buy it from overseas will be able to. Now, in the interview, Brian Flynn also says that they will need to get a certain number of orders for these for it to be able to go forward. He did not give us that number that they'll need, that minimum number of orders that they'll need to get, but he also seemed to feel pretty confident that they would be able to get that. Now, the pre-order is going to be opening up on the Super 7 website tomorrow, and you will have between February 2nd and April 2nd to place your order. And they also state that they are going to be offering some type of financing on this, or I don't know if it's like a layaway thing or what, but there's going to be some type of payment plan thing if you want to get it, but you can't do the $450 all at one time. Now, they haven't given specific details on that, but I'm sure that information will come when it goes up for pre-order tomorrow on the Super 7 website. And they say it'll ship out in early 2022. Now, the other updates that came out of those Pixel Dan interviews that I wanted to go on and just share with you are primarily in regards to Godzilla and the Silverhawks. So they did go on and officially announce the Silverhawks, that they were doing Silverhawks products, including figures. However, in the initial announcement that they put out, they did not clearly state whether they'd be doing Ultimates, Reaction, or both. In the Pixel Dan interview, Brian did confirm that they are doing both Ultimate 7-inch scale Ultimate figures and Reaction figures as well. And in fact, the Ultimates figures will probably be out before the Reaction ones. Now, I believe these aren't actually going to be out until next year, but hopefully we'll get our first looks at these in the coming months. They have not announced any specific characters that they're doing yet for the Silverhawks line, So those details will be coming at a later date. On the Godzilla front, I just wanted to update you guys that there was some question about whether the license, I talked about how they were going to be doing Godzilla, both Ultimates and reaction figures, and the Ultimates would start in 2022. What was a little unclear is whether the license just allowed them to do Godzilla figures, Godzilla himself, or whether they could do other monsters. And according to Brian in the Pixel Dan interview, they can do pretty much all the monsters, all the Toho monsters, except for Kong and Mega Kong. I didn't even know there was a Mega Kong, but essentially King Kong. And then the one other one that they can't do, Gamera, is because that one is owned by a totally different company, so it's not included in the license. But everything else apparently is on the table, and Brian says that he has plans to do all the different monsters and stuff. Now finally, we'll leave off with Marvel today, and I have one that's an update. So last Friday I talked about the 3.75-inch retro Marvel Legend figures with the 5 points of articulation. They showed off a couple of the figures for the first wave. Now you may recall these figures, they offered some of these as Hasbro Pulse exclusives last year as 2-packs, and now they're going to be released at general retail in single packs that cost $10 each. Now, the figures I talked about last week included the Hulk, Human Torch, Captain Marvel, and Magneto. And then just today, they announced 2 more figures for the first wave, which includes Captain America and Spider-Man. And these will start off as Target store exclusives, and then which will start hitting shelves in March. And then they'll be released everywhere in April. So they're not technically Target store exclusives, but that is the first place that you'll start to see them, and they should start hitting shelves next month. And then finally for today, it is Marvel Monday. It's the first Monday of the month, and with that, we got a new Marvel Legend reveal. I told you it was coming. I actually told you about this figure a couple weeks ago. It is now officially confirmed, the Marvel Legends Deluxe Maestro figure. So one thing that I guess I'll say I was wrong on, even though I think it was something that kind of was in flux and changed. But the price, originally, my original information was indicating it was $50, and then late last week I got indications that it was actually only going to be $40. And then a lot of places this morning when they first put it up for, I don't know if a lot, but at least a couple different places when they first put it up this morning had it at $40. But then indications were that was a goof, and the price, the MSRP on this one is actually only $29.99, which is the actual normal price that we've seen for past deluxe figures. So now that's a good thing because this figure is very basic. There are not a lot of accessories with it. The only thing you get with it is an extra pair of hands. When I originally heard the price, I was definitely hoping for a lot more, things like trophies. I would have loved if they had done like this, based the figure on this original Toy Biz figure that was done back in the day, which is, not really how he ever appeared in the comics. But I always liked this look with the bandolier, with the trophies on it, the Iron Man helmet and things like that, the cracked up Captain America shield. I always thought, and the cape, I always thought this was kind of a cool figure. So I would have actually been, I would have loved it if they had actually based it on this older Toy Biz figure. But at least it is not $40 or $50. It is only $30. It is available for pre-order now. If you're a fan of this character, then you may definitely want to check it out. And I don't think it looks bad. I think the head sculpt, even though I'm not sure I like the flowing hair, looks pretty good. And he doesn't have boots on. He's shoeless with this version, and I believe this is just a reissue of the more modern Hulk sculpt that they've been using. So, but like I said, if you're a fan of the character, you'll probably want to check this one out. It is available for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about in the comments section below. Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.